Welcome to the Eagle Valley Model Railroad. In this video we're going to go through the process where we took the 3D printed water tower and got it to the stage that it's at now. So the water tower was printed with PLA plastic, and what we decided to do was get a sanding block and use 150 grit and 400 grit sandpaper. As I started sanding it, I realized that trying to get the surface area completely flat, we were actually separating the different layers of the 3D print. So we just focused on knocking down the high spots and knocking the corners off, and just trying to make sure that the seams were sanded real well. This worked out really good. And then I found that you could use a wood putty or a wood filler to fill in the gaps. So what we have here is our plastic wood. And I was going to put it on using a wooden dowel, and I quickly realized that, and you'll see here, that as I was applying it, that it wasn't adhering to the 3D print very well. You can actually see some of the filler falling off and just not really sticking to the 3D print very well. So of course I decided to use the tools the good Lord give us, and just started using my finger. Now once I started doing this, I realized that the putty would actually warm up due to my body heat in my finger, and it started spreading pretty well. Right here it looks as if it's not sticking very well, and I was starting to get concerned. But the more I worked with it and the more I manipulated the putty, the warmer it got. And you'll be able to see here in just a second, I could pretty much smooth it around just basically like paint. And we filled in all these seams, and we actually, I actually decided to just do the entire water tower just like this right here. I almost used the whole container of putty once I got done and sanded a few times. This is what it looks like unsanded with the putty all around it. Took our wood block and went up to 1,000 grit sandpaper and actually finished it off with the 1,000 grit sandpaper. Decided not to do a wet sand on this project just because I really don't have it an area set up for that, so I just didn't want the headache of a wet sanding. Don't know if it would have done any better or any worse. I'm not real sure. I do like the results that we got from the putty and sanding it down. If I do have another project, this will be the steps that I take to get it to a finished product. So we basically just used the sanding block, as you see, and went around every surface area on the water tower and got it absolutely as smooth as we could. So this is sanded down. I think this was one of the first applications of the putty. The camera is actually picking up the different ridges, but those are smooth to the touch. If you close your eyes and rub it around those ridges, you can barely feel it, but the camera does pick it up. Just a primer coat of just white, and that's what you got. That was actually the first coat. We sanded this coat down again and put us another white coat on it, which gave us our what I consider to be our finished product. I've not done any scenery in this area, but once we get the utility stuff put up, fences, get some gravel down, get some trucks parked, I think this is going to turn out very, very nice. You can still see the ridges with the camera. It's crazy because you can rub that and you cannot feel the ridges. And just printed that Eagle Valley off my Cricut, off of vinyl, and stuck it on the side. And that's the water tower, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, happy modeling.